let us start with the new data frame function, that is group by and aggregations. Okay, group by and aggregations. I'll choose a default as Python language and open a new notebook. So to have a hands-on practice on the group by and aggregations, so let me copy the data here. I have already data with me. I have a script here. I'll be sharing you on the link on this. You can also use that for your practice. Okay, so I'll be sharing you the link below. I'm creating a data frame here. You can see data frame. So we have our own data. So we are using a code like spark.create data frame. I'm passing on the data like this, and I have defined the schema in list. You can see the schema is there. Okay. Now let me execute this. And before executing, let me use dataframe.show also to check the output also. Okay. Yeah, you can see you have a name, you have a department, state, salary, age, and bonus. So now if my requirement is, hey, can you please show me the group data of department, and can you tell me how many count is there for the department? So I want the department count, so I'm using a group by first. I'll group the data, and then on top of that I start doing some aggregation. So the syntax is again simple: data frame dot group by. If you want, you can just use a help on top of this. So you can say help here and execute this. So it will take multiple columns. That columns can be a list type, string type, or a class type. You can just use group by, and you can use dot aggregation on top of that. So let me explain you again. So if you remember, in SQL we first write an aggregation, select them, we give from the table, we use a where clause, and then we use a group by. But here first we are going to use a group by. Group by, your B should be capital, it works like a camel case, and you pass on the department name. So what department you want? So I want the group data for the department column, so let me pass department here, and then I want the count of all that department. So I'm using an aggregation after the group by dot count and use dot show, and let me execute this. Now you can see your data will be grouped according to the department. You can see department. So we have the count of sales as 3, 1, 2, 3, finance as 4, and marketing as 2. So this is the syntax how you can use group by in PySpark. So not only the count aggregation, we can use the sum aggregation for the different columns. So here if I want the sum of the salary, sum of the bonus, anything like this, so you can use the aggregation, sum aggregation on top of the group by data frame function. So this will group the data with the department. Instead of count, I'll be using sum of the column called salary. Okay, let me take salary column and execute this. So it will sum, you will get 3 rows again, and the sum of the salary here. So you can use dot alias for this dot sum, and you can rename that column name. Suppose if you want to do the aggregation, like if I want to change the column name, so what I'll do, I'll just use the aggregation here. So after group by, I'll use the aggregation dot aggregation, and in that aggregation I'll be passing on the sum of the salary. Now I'll do change that sum of the salary column by using dot alias, and I'll give that as a sum of salary. Okay, something like that, just to show you how we can rename that column. Okay, beautiful. Let me execute this. Now you can see, I guess I need to import all the functions before I run this. So aggregation function is a part of function. So let me check from PySpark dot SQL dot functions. let me import all. Okay, we have imported only call. Let me import all the functions and let me execute now. Yeah, beautiful, you can see that. Yeah, so just we need to import all the functions to execute that. Now you can see sales, the sum is this much, but we have renamed the column name also. So what is the advantage of using this aggregation here? So you can just use a comma here after this aggregation. Yeah, let me check. After this alias you can put a comma here, and you can use one more aggregation like average. Okay, you can use one more aggregation like average, and what you want, average of salary, and I can give a new name called dot alias, and I can say that, hey, this is nothing but average salary. Okay, average salary. Similarly, you can go for mean, max, and so on. Okay, you can take the sum of other column also. So let me execute this. Oh, it is saying, yeah, I missed the spelling here, guys. So let me change that. It is alias, and let me execute now. Yeah, it has executed. So you can like take your code and take it in this way. So let me show you. This can be more readable. So if I just enter it, and if I use this in this way, now your code becomes more readable. Okay, but if you want to execute that in a multi-line, so here you need to take a backslash here. Okay, backslash, and you can say that I am going or entering into the new line. Here also you need to put a backslash here. Okay, backslash, and let me execute this now. Okay, yeah, now this code becomes more readable. Like we are first grouping it, we got a new column, we got a new column, and we are displaying. So you either use backslash dot or dot backslash, both will work. Okay, so this is about the grouping the data and using an aggregation on top of that data frame function.